A quick impromptu video. I'll do a proper review on the Stow in Burnished Espresso, but you really need to have a look at my previous video. It features both of these boots. It's principally about the Truman's Java wax flesh, and I made a post on social media. I got loads of questions, and the whole issue revolves around sizing, where it was suggested to me that these Java wax flesh in 13EE were the wrong size, not so much in width but in length. Have a look at the previous video for that. I thought I would compare the Truman's and the Tricker's Stow, and in length, I know this isn't scientific, we're looking at the sole, but there's very, very little in it. In terms of width, this is probably more telling. If anything, the sole of the Trickers is wider than the Truman. Why I mention this is if you look at the Trickers website, it says that it's based upon a UK F fit, which is medium fit. Now I'm not just E, I'm double E, and I wouldn't say double E in the Truman is overly generous. So the Trickers is bound to be super tight, isn't it? Well, there's a thing, it isn't. And I think the reason it isn't is down to the geometry of the boot. I've mentioned this before. It's not a two-dimensional thing by length and width. It's the overall geometry and where your foot fits inside the boot. And I would say the Trickers is a quarter of a size longer than the Truman. I do have that extra space at the toe, and to be fair to the guy in the Trickers shop, he said, I think you should be in a UK 11.5. This is a UK 12, which is equivalent to US 13. It's a bit of a conundrum. I'm still breaking them in. There's one or two little scuffs on them now. I think there might be one here where I'm breaking it in, just walking around the house. These laces seem to be infinitely adjustable. It's a sort of classic Derby, pretty typical sort of British country boot arrangement. Ladder lacing is preferred to the crisscross, and I'm going to try and keep it that way. I may change it if I become irritated by it. So far I'd say the quality, it's really spot on. You'd expect it for the price. I'd be appreciative if people could comment on this. If you have a look at the Trickers website, they tell you very little about the source of the leather. I'm told that this is box calf. Box is the underside of the animal, so this is supposed to be a very supple leather in the where it's come from on the animal, and also in the way it's tanned. At the moment it feels pretty stiff, but you can see that it's going to soften up quite a bit. I know it's sales talk, but the salesman said it's going to become buttery soft and very, very comfortable. I've been confused about reference to Barber welts, and I wondered whether it got anything to do with the famous clothing company from the north of England. It appears not to be. Barber is an American company. Amongst other things, they specialise in welts. Where I get confused is I call this a storm welt. Some people call it a split reverse welt. If you've got any comments on that, I'd appreciate it. This doesn't seem to be stuck to the upper, nothing wrong with that. But it's beautifully made. As I say, for the price you wouldn't expect flaws. I don't particularly like the pull tab, not least because it's a fabric pull tab, but it's not going to get too much in the way. I will do a proper review when I've used these in earnest, but if you do have any thoughts on sizing, whether it's for the Truman or the Trickers, and this conundrum of why does a an average fit, supposedly boot, fit me with wide feet? I can't answer it other than what I've described. Please, as I say, look at the previous video, principally about the Truman, and I would really appreciate your comments. Thank you.